Good day everyone! My name is Sharafe Honolario Nones, and for today's video, I will discuss about ethics of communication. Ethics play a vital role in communication. When we communicate, we should consider how helpful or harmful our words and actions are to others. In this video, we will explore the act of communicating ethically by looking in some approaches for making ethical choices in communication. Before we start the discussion, let us first break down and define the key concept of communication. Ethics is a philosophical discipline, is a systematic approach to analyzing and distinguishing what is right and wrong, what is good or bad. Communication, on the other hand, is a process of receiving and sending messages through verbal or non-verbal means. Therefore, ethics of communication focuses on how one's behavior is governed by one's moral and how this in turn affects the way we communicate others. Now that we already know the ethical communication really means, let us then proceed to approaches to ethical decision making. It is not easy to distinguish right from wrong. When we involved in ethical decision making, we are free to choose, but we should also consider that our choices should be held by ethics. Let us discuss these 4 approaches to decision making. 1. Utilitarian ethics. 2. Moral duty. 3. Virtue of ethics. And 4. Common good of ethics. Utilitarian ethics is a substantive ethical system which focuses mainly on the outcomes of ethical decisions, providing the greatest good for the greatest number of people. For example, assume a hospital has 4 people whose lives depend on receiving an organ transplant: a heart, lungs, kidney, and a liver. If a healthy person wanders to the hospital, his organs could be harvested to save 4 lives into the expense of 1 life. This would arguably produce the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Moral duty approach is the normative basis morality of actions, not on what outcomes we gain for ourselves, but on the law or duty that governs it. For example, you are a software engineer and learn that a nuclear missile is about to launch that might start a war. You can hack the network and cancel the launch, but it is against your professional code of ethics to break into any software system without permission, and it is a form of lying and cheating. Deontology or moral duty advises not to violate these rules. Virtue of ethics is a normative ethical theory which emphasizes an individual's virtue of mind, character, and series of honesty rather than rules of consequences. For example, let us imagine the 3 films The Dark Knight, where Batman has the opportunity to kill the Joker. According to White and Arp, utilitarians would endorse killing the Joker by taking his 1 life. Batman can save multitudes. Deontologists, on the other hand, would reject killing the Joker simply because it is wrong to kill. But the virtue of ethicists would highlight the character of the person who kills the Joker. Does Batman want to become the kind of a person who takes his enemies' lives? No, in fact, he doesn't. Common good approach regards all individuals as a part of a larger community, and that the own good of each individual is linked to the good of the community. Examples of situation wherein there is a common good approach is court system, healthcare, and lawmaking. Then, let us proceed to discussing How to Be an Ethical Communicator by Richard Johansson, 2017. First, we have to summarize these guidelines. An ethical communicator, audience analysis, plays a significant role in the process of communication. How we influence others will depend on how attitudes towards our audience. Respecting other people regardless of their culture and beliefs is essential in the process of communication. Another is an ethical communicator. Respect for the truth is essential. A functional relationship between the sender and the receiver cannot arrive if you are lying, and if you cannot trust a person or a group, or communication becomes ineffective. Next, an ethical communicator uses information properly. Providing information to people needs proper preparation. Talking about a topic with no background or adequate information about the issue would give false information. Lastly, an ethical communicator. A person do not falsify information. An excellent example of this is plagiarism, where the person used words or ideas of another without giving credits to the primary source. Next, what does each of these guidelines tells us about how to become an ethical communicator? Ethical communicators should have respect of their audiences, the way they want to be treated also. Another one is an ethical communicator should respect the truth because honesty is an essential part of having those relationship with a person or a group. Using pieces of information properly also plays a significant role in becoming an ethical communicator, wherein giving insight of or opinions to a topic should be a factual and have relevant report. Lastly, an ethical communicator does not falsify information, such as plagiarizing one's idea without giving credit to it. So, an effective communicator and effective communication? The answer is yes. An authentic, effective communicator knows how to respect the person they are talking. They speak with all honesty, give information, and use it properly, and do not falsify pieces of information. And that includes our discussion for the ethics of communication. I hope that now we became more aware of the ethical dimensions and the ethical elements of communication. And now that we also discovered the significance of ethics of communication, we should now recognize and reflect in this too, and try our best to be a good ethical communicator. Thank you!